Sup YouTube, welcome back to another video documenting my journey to Legend. I've never hit Legend before and I'm hoping to do so for the first time this season. If that's something you think you'd be interested in, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. Before I get started with the battles, I just want to give a massive shout out to some people that I forgot in that previous video. Some of you commented in the video, didn't say anything, but just seeing your name pop up reminded me who you guys are, and like, you know, you're one of the OGs, so here's my follow-up shout out to some of the guys who have been with me since the very beginning. Cork Gaming, Mr. 2x SAS, Michael Howell, O-Side Knuckles, Not a Shiny Kyogre, KK Wade, Guy Sensei Burhanuddin, ValorX7, and a sir who lags a lot. Thank you guys so much for being with me over this entire journey. It really means a lot. Here's to another 1,000. So without further delay, let's get into these battles. This one's going to be a bit of a lengthy one, so, you know, kick back, relax, grab a snack. I'm still rocking the same team. And I just want to showcase some more battles and how I'm able to play around them. Some battles where I lose, some battles that are really close, which is why this game is pretty lengthy. As you can see here, I was patient with throwing my energy. I figured I could tank a move from the Medi either way. And here I try to catch what I think is a crunch. But as you'll notice, this madman is running an unconventional move set. So what does he throw next? I figure it's the crunch. No, it's a freaking sludge bomb, this madman. What does he do? So I probably should have stayed in with Deoxys, but you know, it's fine. I kind of do need the Deoxys on the Medi, especially up energy. Here I try to undercharge and my opponent takes advantage of the switch timers, which you think might be a good idea. You know, like you're maneuvering, you're dancing, you're playing around your win con. But in this case, I don't know if it's the right move for my opponent. I do incorrectly not shield up a psychic, but they go for a pup here, and now I'm just gonna go for a back-to-back cycle boost, either get a shield or take this thing out. We do manage to get a shield, and now I'm feeling like my win con is Drapion, but I bring in the Umbreon, knowing they're close to a pup, hoping I can survive this, which Umbreon's a little thick boy, so we do, and get off the last resort since it does more energy, and I don't want to take these boosted counters on Drapion. And lucky for me, they immediately swap out. They bring in a Registeel, and this game is all but done. 2 shields up. Drapion can put in a lot of work against steel types. They do get the debuff, but I think we get the debuff here. Do we? Yeah, we do. And then we outpace. I throw it immediately because I'm not entirely sure where the switch timers are, and I don't want them to be able to catch. And my opponent realizes that the game is Owarida, and so he concedes the match. Here, a much more common lead that you'll run into if you're running this team is a Lantern. You'll notice that this Lantern is shiny, and I only point that out because, well, this is a triple shiny team, which I thought was really cool. I throw the Psycho Boost immediately to just get out of here and preserve the Deoxys in case I need it in the back. That's honestly what you're going to want to do with Deoxys lead. You're going to want to throw the Psycho Boost against something that's like a neutral matchup. Swap out of there because more often than not, you need that Deoxys. So they bring in the Galarian Stunfisk, another shiny. Very nice shiny. And the rule of thumb here, if you're a fan of Yasser, Yasser always says, you know, just don't shield your Umbreon. There's rarely a case where you should shield your Umbreon. And I think for the most part, he's right. I'm going to come back in with Deoxys. I'm going to farm up. This is only a Rock Slide, so I'm banking on Drapion being my win con. Seeing as we're still 2 shields up, I need some advantage on this thing. They shield up and then they swap out and catch this next Psycho Boost. And you would think that's a good idea, except now the Noctowl is in double crunch range. Whereas before I would need a debuff in order to be able to take it out in 2 crunches. So now I can safely farm up, try to CMP tie, which we don't, but they do throw energy. I believe, yeah, they shield up to throw this energy, and I need to farm up so that I can outpace the Lantern. But I throw right away because I think regardless, I'm gonna outpace the Noctowl. This game gets really close. So I don't outpace the Noctowl, and now I just have to. I didn't make a catch. That's right, that's what this was. I didn't make a catch because God forbid I mistime the catch, and they farm up some more energy. It would have been a loss for me. So that was a GG's to my opponent. Very nice shiny team. Here we're faced with a regular Lantern, so it doesn't get that shiny boost. We go again, immediately for the Psycho Boost. And then we're going to dip into our Umbreon, which is a pretty safe pivot until you meet a damn Charmer. Lucky for me, this isn't running Charm. I did face, I don't believe it's in this set of battles, but I did face a swap in Alolan Ninetales that was running Charm. You do still put in some work. In the zeros, if they don't throw a move, you're gonna lose it regardless. But at least here, like look how much work a Dark type put up against a Charmer, you know, against a Fairy type. So I bring back in Deoxys. I know this isn't a big move. I'm gonna tank it. I'm gonna farm all the way down because this energy is a lot more valuable. Here I am gonna shield because I do want to dump this energy. They go for the Surf, which is fine. You know, they don't need to go for the bigger move at this point. They do shield, and now I'm a shield up with Drapion, and I'm low-key hoping that there's a Trevenant in the back, I think. Here they're at the back. They're at the Surf. So I'm going to throw immediately because I don't want to tank this Surf damage. And I'm just hoping that Drapion is strong enough to take out whatever's in the back. And it's a freaking Chestnut. They go immediately for the superpower, and I'm like, shit. We barely survived that. I managed to bank the Sludge Bomb, get out of there. I throw this, I build up to the back-to-back, but I'm only getting one of these off. And just for good measure, I throw the Crunch even though we had the Sludge Bomb. That was a really, really close game. They were one Vine Whip away from the superpower, and I was one Vine Whip away from dying. So that was really, really clutch game. Here we have an Alolan Ninetales lead. We do CMP tie. They don't build up to the Dazzling Gleam, so I don't shield. And here I throw the Thunderbolt. They don't shield. And I believe what I do here, yeah, I think I'm just gonna straight farm down because they did build it to the Gleam, and they do throw it. So now I can survive this Weather Ball. If they hadn't thrown the Gleam, I would have thrown a Psycho Boost. And now I farm down. I have all this energy. I'm gonna launch the Thunderbolt, even though I probably should have gone for the Psycho Boost. They do shield, and I'm gonna swap into Drapion. I figure not a lot of people are prepared for Drapion, honestly. Some people are. I've been countered a few Bastiodons, which Drapion still puts a good fight up against. And there's not a lot of Mud Boys. Although, honestly, this team would do well with a Mud Boy. So maybe, I don't know. I don't really remember what they're running in the back. I think I do come in with Deoxys just to get off this damage. I throw just before their next Ice Punch. I'm hoping this KOs. Does, and they have a Noctowl. We have a shield up. And I think pretty soon my opponent is gonna top left. There's nothing wrong with staying in the matchup and playing it out. Sometimes if you're aware that you're just not gonna win it, then you know it saves people both people time. Here we kind of won this battle by accident. Spoiler alert. They swap in Drapion, and sort of like a Vigoroth Sableye safe swap, if you're behind on energy, it's not the best swap. So here I figured because I got the Crunch debuff, I can get a shield back from them. And honestly, I was just going to play out the one shields. I beat them to this move, right? And I'm like, all right, whatever, you know, one shield, like I'll let this go down. But then they shield again. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe swap is important here. So I throw immediately because if I had thrown one more, I would have lost CMP. And we take out the Drapion. They come in with a Bastiodon, and now I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. And then I show the Umbreon, and the game's done. I think they messed up. I think they meant to come in with the Bastiodon. Had they done that, it would have been a much closer game. You'll see another game where that's the case, and I do end up losing that game because I made a few misplays. Here, I wait for them to throw, and they catch. I throw one over, and they still catch on the Licky. It's kind of obvious at this point, right? Most players that you see throw one over. So maybe the correct play is to just throw immediately now, especially when you're at the higher elo range. Not that I'm like super high, but you know, on the off chance. I probably should have sped this up a little because this battle is going to take a while. Umbreon is more dominant in this matchup. I think here I'm going to try to farm up a little bit more. I throw the foul play as soon as I get it because they're one or two away from a Leaf Blade, and here I force them to throw. I could have swapped out, but I would rather farm up some energy on Drapion. Farm up a little, throw before their Leaf Blade because I think I lose CMP and I don't really want to tank a Leaf Blade. And they come in with Bastiodon, of course. I swap out immediately because our switch timers were misaligned and I need as much counter damage as I can get onto this Basti. We managed to get to the Psycho Boost, which is perfect because you're going to see that this damage was important. It's not, I mean, I guess it is in 2 crunch range, but you need like 4 crunches to take this damn thing out. I do the best to do proper timing, and I'm like, damn, is it in crunch range? I'm not really sure. I think they're like 1 or 2 away, and we managed to take that game. So that was really close. Very well played to my opponent. I love that toxic team. I want to try it maybe soon, but we'll see. What I like to do in the Deoxys mirror, because I figure there's another Umbreon in the back, is I tank a move and then I swap out. And every psychic type, being Deoxys and Medi, has tried to catch the foul play. And while I think that's a good strategy, it puts my Umbreon so much further ahead in terms of energy. However, because of those counter damages, I think it does about even out. So I try just to not throw on CMP because I want that extra move to go through. And then here I think I'm going to throw immediately because I'm recognizing that I am going to lose this matchup if they get another last resort. Typically I swap back into Deoxys, but I didn't want to tank a move. And as you can see, I'm like trying to swap out. I swap in the Drapion, just on the off chance that Deoxys is better in the back. And now we're 2 shields up, and I don't know if we win this. This is going to be a really, I know it's a Noctowl, right? That was the popular team created by Yasser, which was pretty safe. I don't manage to get to another crunch, but we do have a shield up. And I figure they're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. They do, which is beautiful. I believe they're 1 or 2 away from another move. They shield up, they come back in with Deoxys. I throw the Thunderbolt. I'm going to do 1 more and then try to catch. Do we successfully, oh, maybe 3 more. We successfully catch. I think I caught 1 over their Thunderbolt. And I need this shield. They throw a Psycho Boost. We're not in Psycho Boost range, but because of that, I'm able to farm them down and have the Thunderbolt loaded in order to take out this Noctowl. And that was my only win con. So this game came really close. I've played more teams like that one, and they're all that close. They all come down to like 1 or 2 HP, and it's kind of wild. If you're the opponent, this is how you play the matchup. You come into Basti from that Trev lead, and I mean, you don't really, I need to shield, but I think in the 1 shields, you might be able to take this as the Drapion, the Shadow Drapion. If you're running Aqua Tail, I think this is a lot better. Because we get that debuff, I think my opponent shields. That said, I don't think, oh wow, they don't shield, never mind. I throw immediately to try to force a shield, to try to flip switch. And it doesn't happen, but we get another debuff. So now I'm gonna come in with Umbreon and farm down because I figure it's a Drapion. And what do they come in with? But the Drapion. This is not a Shadow version, so this is a lot more uncomfortable for Umbreon. I'm just hoping they don't catch a last resort on the Trev, because then that could set me back. They throw another move, and what do I do here? Yeah, I'm throwing 1 and then throwing the move because that optimizes your energy for those 3-turn, 2-turn moves. I try to make a catch. My opponent holds onto their energy, but they do throw the Aqua Tail. And here I made the mistake. I should have shielded this move. I was banking that they would throw a Seed Bomb, which they don't. But had I gotten that Psycho Boost damage off, it would have been in 1 foul play range. I would have still had all this energy, right? We would have taken him out, and I would have had close to a last resort. Like, I wouldn't have taken that damage. Close to a last resort and a foul play loaded to take out this Drapion. And I think that would have made the difference there. So I think that was a misplay by me. Or it was a misplay by me. But still, a really close game. GG's to my opponent. And now the Medi lead. What do you do here? I like to think I do the same thing. Here I tank a move, throw a move, and then I think I swap out into Umbreon. Because at this health disparity, maybe. Or maybe I'm just talking shit again. Let's see. What do I do? Oh, I guess not. I've started to play this a little bit differently. Yeah, okay, so I do swap in, save the Deoxys a bit. Again, they try to catch. This time, they don't get a free sneak in, so this is even better for me. Trying not to CMP. They're also trying not to CMP. But I'm going to throw immediately because I'm at 100 energy. I don't know if they snuck in or not. Maybe they didn't. And yeah, I throw immediately. Again, I'm at a slight health disparity because of all the counter damage that I took. Medi hits a little harder than Deoxys, so this is even, I guess, slightly worse. I do manage to win CMP. I've been thinking about building up my rank 2 Umbreon, and maybe now it's like, maybe I shouldn't, because of those like CMP ties that I win. Here, I think I miscount again. Let me see, is this the one? No. Okay, this time I learned from my previous mistake. What's in the back? Is it another Noctowl? No, it's a damn Charizard. This is not a Shadow Charizard though, but still, one move does not KO, sadly. And they can let this through. They're gonna throw, do I let this go? Oh, I do save it, wow. I bank a move, I think. They still need to take me out. They do. And I don't know where the Charizard is, so I throw immediately. And I'm noticing that the switch timer's coming up. Maybe this isn't the smartest idea, but imagine if I throw one and then they catch, right? So it's like we ended a timeout, which was absolutely crazy. But yeah, you know, it's just one of those games where you have to make a read, and I managed to make the correct read. Here, this is hard countered city. This is what happens when you face a team like this. A Sirfetch'd, where have I seen this Pokemon? Never in the Great League, or at least not during the current meta, because it doesn't really have any play, except here it does. So they're 2 shields down, but I'm gonna have to return a shield, I think, maybe. I forget if I do. It doesn't really matter. I think they're gonna throw a Brave Bird here, which is why I shield, but maybe, nah, even then, like, you're gonna see what they have in the back. This only does about 30%, so even, I don't play it out because I see the Charmer, but I did the analysis afterwards on PV Poke. Even if I did play it out and they did save their energy, there was still no shot for me. Because from that health range, Kofa could have taken me out, even if somehow I farmed down the Wigglytuff afterwards, after they take out my Umbreon, and I managed to tank a move and I managed to farm them down without getting charmed down first. So there was just no coming back from that. That was just a hard counter team. And sometimes you're gonna lose, and that's absolutely fine. As you can see, I'm finally climbing back up. I'm finally finding my stride. We have 2 weeks left. I say we, but really for me, I have 2 weeks left of Go Battle League because I don't play Master League, and I'm definitely not playing the 50s level Master League. So 2 weeks left, 15 or 16 days or so for me to hit Legend. I don't want to say where I am right now, but I'm still using the same team and I'm still climbing. I managed to break past the 2600 curse that I've been living for these past 2 weeks. So if you have these mons and you're looking to climb, try it out. So far, it's not a super popular team, so not a lot of people are building up around it. That might change. Yasser is incredibly skilled at making like pretty viable teams, and he's so far right. This isn't a core that's easily broken in the current meta, except for that last team, which is, you know, how often do you see a Kofa? How often do you see a Wiggly? How often do you see a goddamn Sirfetch'd? So it's been doing pretty well for me. If you try it out, I hope it does well for you. And yeah, I hope we can all climb, and I hope I make it to Legend. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Peace.